welcome back to Harris Family Adventures. All right, we are here with our second to last video about our Italy trip with Gate 1 tours. We will film one more, but that's our favorite. So this is our last, what happened in the day? So we had a flight, I believe our flight was about 10 in the morning, but if you start to do airplane math, airport math, you know that means for a pretty early day. And we had done our transfers both in Venice, from the Venice airport to our hotel in Venice, and then from our Rome airport, or from our Rome hotel to the Rome airport. I had paid for those in advance through Gate 1 travel. They were, I believe it was $40 per person per transfer. So it ended up being $160 total. I had already looked, honestly, I had planned on just using the Venice transfers. So from the Venice airport to our hotel, I couldn't get it to work on the website. So I emailed them, and when they emailed me back, they had booked both transfers. That was fine. I think you can get to the Rome airport via train without too much difficulty, but it was nice on that last day just to know it's all taken care of. I think it would have been cheaper than $80 if I would have figured it out, but it was nice. The airport is quite a bit outside of the city, so it is a ways. All right, so I was up at 4:45 just to get everything ready. They were gonna collect our bags that day. Everybody had a different bag pickup time depending on when their flight was. I woke Grace up at 5:45. He got up, he got changed, he got back into bed.
I didn't fall asleep though.
He didn't fall asleep, but that was fine because I just really needed him to take care of things so I could pack those last final things and have the bags out in time. We didn't have the hot hotel breakfast. It wasn't open yet at that time. So Francesca, our Gate 1 tour manager, had boxed breakfast for us. I think there was a croissant and there was yogurt and an apple and water. I mean, there was quite a few things in there. We ended up eating none of it. We just weren't kind of in the mood to eat, but that was fine. We had a shuttle. It was supposed to be there at 6:20, so I was thinking, okay, so we'll be in the lobby at 6:20, and then the shuttle will come, and then we'll have to get loaded in, and then nope, we were loaded in, ready to go by 6:18. So that was awesome. So the shuttle was there early. We were able to just get out of there and go. It was a very long drive though. It felt like a very long drive. I get anxious about travel days, so that always made it feel longer too. We were in line to check in by 6:50. So we had gone with one other Gate 1 couple. They had to be dropped off at a different place, and then he dropped us off. We walked in, and I was like, I don't know. And so luckily there was somebody, I said United, and she said, go back out, walk down to door 7 and go back in. So I don't know why he didn't drop us.
And door 7 was a long ways
away.
It was
a walk. It was a walk. It was the very last door. I think he dropped us off at door 4. So I don't know, but it was fine. So we got in line, and the line seemed kind of long, but honestly, it moved fairly quickly, and we were able to get in pretty quickly. I will say this. The day before, or maybe 2 days before, because we were gonna be flying through Chicago, I had gotten an email from United that was like, Chicago is supposed to have some severe weather, you might wanna rebook. And I looked and they had like a 20% chance of rain, but it's Chicago in July. I think there's always a 20% chance of rain. So I was like, no, I'm not rebooking. And then when I checked us in 24 hours in advance, they were offering, they wanted you to bid how much you would want to be paid to take another flight, and I kind of wanted to get home, so I didn't bid any amount. So I did know that the flight was going to be full. So when we went to check in, she was very lovely, she was awesome. They had a lot of agents available. She said because the flight was full, we could check our bags for free at the gate just to kind of reduce some of the congestion later, which that was a really good idea. I didn't know that that was going to be a possibility. So we had one suitcase that I was like, yes, it was, one of our wheelie bags that we were going to carry on. I was like, yeah, let's check that. But the other one had like Reese's laptop charger and just some other things. So I was like, no, I think we want that with us. So it was nice that we could have checked, I think, all of our bags for free. We checked one of our bags. So that was nice. I knew that was in Chicago, we're gonna have to get it, and that was gonna add a step, but we had lots of time in Chicago. So yeah, just kind of know that might be a possibility if your flight is full. So like I said, we got on the shuttle at 6:18 and we were checked in by 6:50, which, I mean, for as far away as the airport is, like that speaks to the speed that they were moving. Very nice. We had all nice people. Then we had a really quick line through security. That was not that big of a deal. By 7:20, we were through all of that. And then we got to the terminal, and there was not much going on at that terminal. And we're saying that coming from Lincoln, where there's 2 gates total. There just wasn't much going on. At that point, though, we were hungry. So, in keeping the box breakfast, that wouldn't have worked because there was liquids and stuff. So, we found a spot. We got a club sandwich. That was okay. It was warm.
It wasn't that good.
It was, yeah. And then a croissant. And the croissant, we kept trying Italian croissants. We just never fell in love with them.
Panera croissants are better.
Yeah, Panera croissants are better in our world with our taste buds that are used to American food. And then we went to one of those, like it's a newsstand that has candy and magazines and all that kind of stuff. And we got some chips and some soda and some candy to help power us through because we had a 10.5-hour flight ahead of us. It was a very well organized check-in. The gate size was ample. That was one of my frustrations. I had a lot. But about Toronto is that these huge planes were giving these tiny gates and all these people with nowhere to go. This gate had enough space for us. It was kind of interesting, like you checked in like the middle of the airport kind of, and then you went down the stairs, and that was how you got out. So the lineup was not a problem. We were right on time. Everything was great. The flight ended up only being 10 hours, so they cut a half hour off of our time. First, they offered us some olive crackers. If you like olives, you'd love them. They taste just like olives. Reese didn't try his.
Not.
And then we had lunch, so that was tortellini. Now, I thought was really good. A roll, a salad. The salad was kind of strange. And then ice cream. The ice cream was really good.
Very good.
That was really, really good. Good in-seat entertainment. So like I had said, we flew all United flights, but it was an Air Canada flight on our long flight from Toronto to Venice. This was an actual United flight. I thought the in-seat entertainment was even better. They were great about offering water, not only cups of water, but they came by a couple times with bottles of water, which is just awesome. Because sometimes with a cup, I would probably say no, because then you have to like not spill the cup and put the cup on the tray table and that kind of thing. But a bottle, you can just open it up, take a drink, and then like shove it in that seat back pocket in front of you, and that's so nice. And then towards the end of our flight, which for us felt like dinner, for them felt like lunch, they gave us a turkey sandwich. That was our snack, was a turkey sandwich, and that was good too. So overall, the food was really good. They were great about offering us things. It was a pretty comfortable flight. I didn't feel cold, which is strange. I always feel cold on flights, so overall it was really nice. We flew into O'Hare, and just like it had been in June when Justin and I went to Mexico, just like before, it was very busy, but we had a lot of time. We had a lot of time to fill.
6 hours.
6 hours. We landed about 1, and our flight to Lincoln wasn't until 7. So, first of all, it was kind of confusing where to go when we got off of our plane. And I am always thinking about if I was traveling with family and different family members, if there was any kind of like mobility concerns. There was a ton of walking. Like we just kept walking and walking and walking and walking and walking and walking and walking.
But that's not the airport's fault.
Well, I think it's the design of the airport. Yeah, I'm going to blame the airport on that one. And then we got to immigration. The line wasn't super long. It was fine. And everything feels a lot easier and breezier when you have a long layover because you got all the time in the world. So whatever. Okay, great. And then we got assigned to line like 53 or whatever. Okay, great. I love that they're making sure that people are going to different lanes. Awesome. And we were behind someone who is not a U.S. citizen. And I don't know what kind of citizen that she was. I could just see from her passport it was maroon. It had different, from the distance, because you have to stand back behind the line. I could see it, it wasn't English. And I don't think that immigration agent knew really what to do. We stood there for probably, and I'm trying not to exaggerate, at least 10, if not 15 minutes of us just standing there while he's trying to help. And she kept doing her fingerprints, and he kept taking her picture, and he would type in her computer. And here is my suggestion. Not that anyone is going to take this suggestion and do anything with it, but they need a American citizen immigration line and a non-American citizen. Just because then the people who are not American citizens are working with agents that are used to different passports and different procedures and that kind of thing. And then the other people can all specialize in just American passports. I think that would help. So what we did is we actually took the risk and moved over to line 54. And I said, as soon as we move over, I bet she's gonna go through. But we moved over to line 54. And then Reese, smart, he was like, line 55 seems to be moving too. So he got in line 55. I was in line 54. I don't know if you've ever played this game in the grocery store, but like, who's gonna get up there faster, and then we'll just join whatever way. I'm so glad he did that, because then line 53, that guy took over line 54's computer because he said it was his computer that was having a hard time. So then all of line 54 people had to find a place to go. And luckily Reese was already in line 55. So we went in line 55. So that was probably the biggest delay, was there. Again, we had all the time in the world, but if we would have been pressed for time, that would have been really frustrating. We also went to customs. Now they had handed out the customs forms and they said, just leave them blank, just leave them blank. And I thought, well, that seems strange, but okay. And as we were in the line, I was looking around, I was like, okay, she has hers filled out. Like, I didn't want to get up there and then be like, no, this was supposed to be filled out back of the line. Again, we had the time, but sure enough, it was just a blank form and we just got on through, so that was fine. We did have to, because we had checked a bag, we did have to claim that bag. Luckily, we had checked the bag that my mom had lent us, which was yellow, really easy to see, very handy. Grabbed that bag, and then we gave it to the United person. There was just two people in the hallway standing by a conveyor belt, and she was like, okay, and she scanned it, and she goes, go to terminal 2. Like, okay, and we're not well familiar with O'Hare Airport, so we didn't know where that was. So it took quite a bit of walking. We had to take a tram. We did find terminal 2. We found where our gate would be, like 4 hours from then. We walked around a little bit. We found some chairs that were kind of cozy. We sat there for a bit. Then our gate changed. So then we went and found our new gate, which was not close to our old gate. So again, thank goodness we weren't pressed for time. We went to our new gate, found where that was gonna be, walked around. We saw a lot. We were just kind of walking.
But if you're ever in a pinch, there's always Lego vending machines.
There was a Lego vending machine, and Reese was trying to convince me that we needed to buy something from there, but we did not.
And a cupcake.
And there was a cupcake vending machine. Yeah. So we grabbed McDonald's for dinner, and this was nice. Our new gate was kind of like the one that Justin and I had sat in on our way to Mexico, where there was the counter by the window with lots of charging options, so we could kind of sit up high and not, necessarily be facing anybody, just facing out the windows. We could be charging devices. At that point, we were able to very easily call family and friends and text family and friends, enjoy our dinner, play some card games, and get ready for our flight. So yeah, then we took a really small little plane, just a 2x2. I think there were 12 rows from Chicago to Lincoln. They did give us stroopwafels, which I always appreciate. They did give us soda. Reese fell asleep before we got off the ground, so he slept for that whole flight, but it was a nice flight. We had a priest and a nun sitting behind us, so I figured we were probably going to be really safe. We landed early. I had texted Justin when we landed. He goes, you're supposed to be home like a half hour from now. So he was still at home, but by the time we got off the plane and waited for our baggage and got our baggage, he had made it to the airport. He was out at the curb, and we hopped in the truck and came home. So that was our final day, and that's one of the first questions people ask when they hear that we went to Italy this summer, like, how were your flights? And honestly, other than the Toronto one being a little bit delayed and that airport being a hot mess, our flights were pretty much on time, or they came in early even, and we had a really easy traveling to and there. I would go back in a heartbeat. I know some of you who are watching are going back, you've reached out, and I'm so jealous. I am so jealous. Go again?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So if you want to see any of our previous videos, there's a whole Italy playlist. Go ahead and watch them, including like packing videos, how we went with just carry-ons. Also, we're gonna make one more video and it is gonna be our favorites. So our favorite food, our favorite day, all of those types of things. Go ahead and click subscribe if you would like to see that. Otherwise, we'll just see you in the next video. Bye.
I can't forget the day we met. Your eyes so blue, me pressing through.